and welcome to No Face Meals. Today we're going to make some treats vegan style. First we're going to start off, we're going to make a peanut butter granola bar. And this is your basic no-bake cookie recipe. First you need a pan. And with this pan you're going to add in your sugar, which they're calling for a cup and a half, so we don't need all this. Now you may need less sugar depending on how sweet your granola is. We make our own granola. You can use store-bought if you want, but it's we will get the recipe and do an episode on how to make granola in a future episode. With this, we need vegan butter. You need a cup. That's not quite a cup, so we're going to finish up with coconut oil. This is what's going to make your cookies harden up, you know, where it's a cookie. I don't need a lot of this because I've got quite a bit. I know, I'm not measuring. You can measure this. I'm eyeballing, because that's the way I normally cook anyway. A lot of times they'll say 2/3 of a cup of something. Yeah, no, I'm not going to do that. I already know that. Alright, to this you want to add half a cup of milk. Now this could be any kind of milk you like. They call for almond. I'm not much on almond milk. I'm a coconut milk kind of person. You can also do just about any kind of plant-based milk that you want. If you don't want or need this to be vegan or vegetarian, you can go ahead and you can use butter and regular milk. It's really up to you. Differences between the two, the butter and the regular milk, is one's vegetarian and vegan, the other one's not. I mean, that's basically it. Won't be much different in taste, because your coconut oil is pretty rich. Alright, so half a cup of a plant-based or regular milk. Now, before we go too much further, you're going to have to get your pans ready. I brought two out because I'm not quite sure. Silicone. They're great for baking. They're great for baking. They're great for molding things. This is a brownie pan, actually. I use it for all kinds of different things. They have all kinds of different shapes and whatnot. And I always spray my silicone. I just do. Too high up is why we are. So anyway, you want, this recipe will go pretty quickly, so you want to make sure that you, there we go. Yep, Mel's here. You want to make sure that you have your pan prepared and ready, because you don't want to have a big ball of granola when you want individual. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and put this on medium. You just want to melt, the sugar and the coconut oil is what you're doing. And then you are going to cook it for, after you get done with this, you are going to cook it for a full minute. You do have to whisk it. Now these appliances are really nice because they go anywhere. They can be anywhere. But my whole thing is you want to make sure that you don't want to have it go, any of these appliances go over 350 in heat. So, you know, otherwise they'll burn out real quick. If you can do it on a medium, like we're doing today, that's a good thing. This recipe doesn't call for any salt, which is fine. Feel like you need it, you can use it. You can put it in there. You can also put chocolate in here if you want. You know, cocoa powder, like you would any other kind of no bake. Now, when this gets to boiling, we're going to continue to whisk it for another like 30 seconds or so, and then we're going to add our peanut butter. Now, today I'm planning on making no bake cookies and granola bars. So I have a 1 pound, 16 ounces of your peanut butter. Why do I have a 16 ounce? Because half of this is a cup, and that's what I'm going to be putting in this, is a cup. Alright. Just waiting for it to come to a boil. And I think we're getting there pretty darn fast. Okay. We are at a boil. Hey Siri, set a timer for 1 minute.
The timer is already running at 22 seconds. Would you like to replace it?
Yes. Okay, so we got to cook this down.
Sorry, I couldn't quite hear you. Could you please repeat what you said?
Siri's not being nice to me today.
Thanks. You're not so bad yourself.
Okay, so that was 30 seconds. The point is you don't want it to boil over, and you don't want it to actually burn, because like I said, it's got sugar and whatnot in it. Alright, I'm calling it. I think that's 30 seconds. So you want to take it off, because this is an induction. So you want to take it off, and you want to add your peanut butter. And you may have a little sticking going on. You know, that's okay. Okay, you want to make sure you put your peanut butter in. Like I said, I'm going to use half of this. It calls for 2/3. Yeah, well, mine's going to have a whole cup in it, because that's the way I roll. This is the hardest part. Honestly, getting the peanut butter out of the jar. Okay. It's probably good. Okay, now you want to whisk your peanut butter. You want it melted in there, because that's going to be the glue that's going to hold that luscious granola together. Like I said, if you want to put some cocoa powder in here, you can. Yeah, you put about 1/3 of a cup to 1/4 of a cup, depending on how you like it. Okay, got that going. We need our vanilla. It says 2 teaspoons of pure vanilla. That's a lot of vanilla. Believe it or not, I actually have the right teaspoon today. I know, don't fall over in shock. You just don't know how many sets of these I have. I can't find one usually. Alright, so you want to whisk that. Now you're going to add your granola, which my husband makes for us. Like I said, this is an experiment. Alright, so I did use 4 cups of granola for this. Get out of there, you. Still seems a little soupy to me, but like I said, we will see how this goes. Yeah, that's awful soupy. So, if it looks a little soupy to you, add just some oats to it. That's about a cup. Might have been just a little bit generous with that coconut oil, maybe. It's your coconut oil that's going to harden these up. And like I said, we haven't ever done this before, so we don't quite know how it was going to go. Now, we need to get this in here. Now you're going to let this set a good half hour. We're probably going to let it set longer than that. You can hear the dogs. They're like, peanut butter. My little guys, they like the peanut butter. Alright, I think I'm going to use another pan. Didn't know we'd make this much. See, we're having fun in the kitchen. Everything is an experiment. Spray this pan. Make sure you use a good cooking spray. I use a lot of this because I bake for farmers markets. So I do a lot of baking, a lot of spraying. I'm always blessed and amazed to have people who buy my banana bread, which is one of the big sellers there, is banana bread at the market. And zucchini bread. All last summer, right up until the fall, it was zucchini bread. Okay. Get all that good stuff in this pan. And if you need to put these in the freezer, you probably should have a cookie sheet underneath them, because these are flexible molds. Just thought about that. See? So our batch made 16. Okay. Now we will let these set up and we'll get ready to show you how to make no-bake cookies. We'll be right back. Today we're going to be doing some vegan no-bake cookies. So for this recipe you need your sugar. It calls for 1.5 cups of sugar. You need your 1/3 of a cup of cocoa powder, and you need half of a cup of coconut oil. So it all goes into, this is where you need to put it all to be all your heated stuff. Coconut oil is something that takes the place of butter. It'll help set up your cookies. You also need half a cup of some plant-based milk, whatever you happen to have on hand. I like the coconut milk, especially for sweet applications such as no-bake cookies. I think it lends a creamier, richer taste. Now we're going to put in our 1/3 of a cup of cocoa powder. Now if you don't want to add chocolate to this, you don't have to. It will taste just as good. Same thing with the peanut butter when we get to it a little bit later on. If you don't want peanut butter in this, you don't have to have it in here. But you do have to have your coconut oil and some kind of plant-based milk and sugar in there to make cookies. Now we're gonna go ahead and whisk this, and what you're trying to do is combine this all together, and you're going to need to bake this. Cook this. You want to cook this over medium, in a medium pot over low to medium heat. So you want to stir constantly and bring the mixture to a boil. Okay, and I do mean a boil, a rolling boil, not just a little bit. So takes a little bit of time to get it to that rolling boil that you're looking for. This is almost ready, I think. Because you want to simmer it for exactly 1 minute, and then you want to remove it from your heat and keep stirring it for 30 seconds. And that's kind of to cool that mixture down just a little bit, because you're going to add your vanilla. And if you add your vanilla when it's too hot, it's gonna sizzle away, and you're not going to get that full punch of vanilla. Now it simmered for it looks like it's simmered for a minute, and now we're going to add our vanilla extract. And we're going to stir that in. And like I said, if you don't like the if you don't care for vanilla, you could actually add any kind of extract you'd like. Almond extract, or they even have a butter extract. So now we're going to add our peanut butter. This calls for a half a cup of peanut butter. I usually use I put extra peanut butter in mine. I like the chocolate peanut butter combination a lot. So I put a little extra in. So I use about a cup. And you're going to whisk this together until your peanut butter melts. You're just whisking this to incorporate. Then we're going to add our 3 cups of oatmeal. I prefer the quick oats because it gives it, I think it gives it a little bit finer texture. You can use old fashioned. They just be a little bit rougher in texture, but I don't suggest you use the steel cut oats. That's going to be really much too rough of a texture. Put this on a cookie sheet that's lined with wax paper. Wax paper or parchment paper, either one. This is I put mine on wax paper because that's what wax paper is for, actually, is to. So you want to make sure that you've got your cookie sheet all ready. Then you're going to take it and form your cookies. You can make big ones, small ones, it all depends on what you want. I like about that size. And this makes quite a few. Now, sometimes I'll let these set out and harden. And sometimes I'm a little more anxious for the cookies, so I'll put them in the freezer to harden up. This is a really nice recipe. You could actually make extra and keep them in your freezer for when you're in the mood for them. These go pretty quick in my house. So you want to let them set. After you get this done, you put them on your sheet. I'm going to put these in the refrigerator. 20 to 30 minutes until they are hard. And we'll be back with the finished product. Hi, welcome back to No Face Meals. I'm Marjorie Haynes, and here we've got our 2 no-bake cookie recipes that we were doing. As you can see, we're set up, and as you can see, we're sampling. These are really good. This is the one with the granola and just the peanut butter, and it's kind of almost like a fudge consistency. These are like, it's kind of part cookie, part candy type thing. This is your classic, and as you can see, they're set up just as well as it would have if you had regular butter and milk in it. So there you go. 2 great no-bake cookie recipes, because we all know summer's coming. You don't want to have to turn on the oven. This is a really good way to have something, a sweet dessert, and don't have to put the oven on. That's all the time we have for No Face Meals. I'm Roger Haynes. We'll see you next time on No Face Meals, where the food are the stars.